welcome Jen. Jen's from Ducks Unlimited, and we're going to tap into her education and or knowledge of the whole ducks industry here. So again, welcome and thanks for joining me.
Thanks, Kerri, for having me on, and I'm happy to be here.
Wonderful. So tell me, how did you get involved working with Ducks Unlimited?
Right on. So when I've worked for Ducks Unlimited Canada for 16 years. It's been quite a while. And I would say, growing up, my parents fostered a lot of outdoor adventures when I was a kid, and I grew up in the country. And so we went camping and we went cottaging and fishing. We traveled across Canada, and that sort of, for me, evolved into a love for the outdoors, and it fueled my passion for the environment. So I sort of landed here after going to Fleming College, and I took Fish and Wildlife for 3 years, and I did a whole bunch of work with the Ministry of Natural Resources and Forestry, and I did different contracts with different nonprofit organizations, and then eventually I landed here at Ducks, and it's been a great fit for me for the last 16 years.
Wow, that's amazing. And was there a favorite part to your road to getting to Ducks that really sticks out to you?
Yeah, so there is lots of sort of ups and downs. It wasn't a straight path like many of us to our work environments. But I would say, I was very fortunate. I got to work in some of the coolest places, I think, in the province. So I worked in Algonquin Park. I was fortunate to work up north at Sleeping Giant Park, and in Northern Ontario doing fisheries work. And I also did some species at risk work in Midhurst, here just north of Barrie, and sort of developed some skills there with mapping and GIS, and sort of put all those pieces together. But I also love working with people. And so being able to deliver wetland conservation program in this area and sort of east of Lake Simcoe in the Kawartha regions is really my passion, working with farmers and rural landowners. And I get to sort of get up in the morning and visit people's properties and chat with them, just like we're chatting now, and sort of learn about their passion and sort of help provide some of the solutions to some of the challenges they may be having on their properties.
Okay. Wow. That's amazing. I mean, the one thing that we want to all strive to do is to enjoy our jobs and to enjoy what we're doing. And as we all serve people, you want to make sure you have that passion that goes along with serving the people and the industry at the same time.
For sure. And Kerri, you know what? I think I'm not alone here at Ducks Unlimited Canada. There's a lot of passionate people who work here. We do a lot of work with policy and education. We have an awesome finance team and admin team, and we have, fundraising team, and we're all sort of pulling together to deliver wetland conservation across Canada. And I don't do this alone. We have other conservation staff too. We have six delivery staff who do the same job that I do across the province. And we wouldn't be here if we weren't passionate, because we spend a lot of time outside. There's buggy days and very hot days. And it's, some days it's tough. You have to be willing to get dirt on your boots. And so, that's kind of what it's like, but we're all sort of working together to make incremental small change for everybody. Wetlands are so important. And I love my job. I wouldn't be here if I didn't.
That's amazing. Amazing. What are some of the misconceptions that you might run into about what Ducks Unlimited does, or even your role does?
Right. So Ducks Unlimited Canada is a wetland conservation organization and not-for-profit, and we are focused on conserving and restoring and maintaining wetland environments across Canada and also in the US. So my role, I'm a conservation specialist, and I actually deliver wetland projects in the ground. So I work with a lot of landowners and rural property owners and farmers. And, a lot of the misconception, people think, if I work with Ducks Unlimited Canada, we sign agreements with landowners. And sometimes people think, I'm signing my property rights away, or I won't be able, if they're hunters, I won't be able to hunt on my property. Or some people think, if they sign up with Ducks, all the hunters are going to show up, and that's not what it's like at all. And so, we try hard to work with property owners who are conservation minded and have the same sort of ideas that we have in terms of conservation and putting projects in the ground. But I work with so many different property owners. It's not just about ducks. It's also about water quality and bird. Some people just love to watch birds, and some people, they're interested in insects. And so there's so many people who work with us for so many reasons. And I get to meet very interesting people every day.
That's amazing. And different reasons for different values, right? That have all the way. And we can't just be in one tunnel and go the same way for everything. And especially in your industry, it needs to be able to veer to the right or veer to the left if you need to have it happen.
That's right.
Way.
The ultimate pivot. Right. So it's like trying to help people understand the value of these habitats. So wetlands are highly important for a variety of reasons, and they're highly threatened as well. So it's like trying to help people understand the value of wetlands and what they bring for all of us. So, when we're putting a wetland on somebody's property, we may not all get to see that wetland, or we may not all understand why it's there, but they're just like a giant sponge. They provide water filtration. They hold water on the landscape. They provide flooding mitigation. So when we're having these huge storm events and all the water's rushing down the system, wetlands will actually hold that water like a big sponge and prevent flooding, which is huge for all of us. Water quality is huge for all of us. So wetlands suck up a whole bunch of nutrient. And they also provide homes for wildlife and ducks. And a lot of people enjoy bird watching and other recreational things in wetlands for sure.
That's amazing. I know that Emily here at SuiteWorks, she's an avid bird watcher, and she goes somewhere close to the I'm going to say the Detroit border.
Okay. Yep.
Unfortunately, I'm losing the name of where she goes, but it's so interesting. She describes very similar areas of what you're saying and what you guys do there, and it's intriguing and it's fulfilling to some people, like you said, to bird watch.
It is. And, I just encourage people to get outside, right? So I learn new things every day, Kerri. I do not pretend to know all the things. And every day when I go outside, you might be looking at the insects on the ground or the birds in the air or the plants all around us. And I encourage people to get outside and learn more about the natural environment around them, right? We can do that right in the city of Barrie. We could, you don't have to go far to go on an adventure. And so, there's great places to visit right here in the city, maybe even in your own backyard.
Amazing. So I know that you guys are working on the Tiny Marsh project. Tell me a little bit about what that's involving. Yeah.
So right now at Ducks Unlimited Canada, we're in Ontario. We're focused on rebuilding a whole bunch of our older projects that need maintenance, essentially. So just like your car or your fridge, everything kind of has a lifespan. And some of sort of the infrastructure involved in a bunch of our older projects, we're replacing it. We have some funding through the Ministry of Environment, Conservation and Parks, and we're using that money to reinvest in a bunch of our older projects and also build some new ones. So at Tiny, we're in the beginning stages of sort of working with the partners there to come up with a plan to do some reinvestment in some of the infrastructure there. Tiny is also a great place. It's just north of Barrie to visit, to go for a hike or go for a bike with your family, to get out and see some birds and see all the natural things out in the environment. It's a wonderful place to visit. We have some partners there. MTM looks after the property, and the Ministry of Natural Resources and Forestry own it. And so, so it's a great partnership project to highlight. And it's also a great place you can go. You can park for free. You can go and visit Tiny Marsh. It's just north of Elmville.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's great.
That's great work. So switching gears a tiny bit, you guys have been with SuiteWorks for, I want to say, close to 4 years, 3 to 4 years now.
Yeah.
Can you give me a little bit of background on, I know,
right,
part of the reasons why you guys chose to be with us, but given the whole change in how you guys work and how the world is working, and given your industry,
Right.
And I don't want to speak for you, but
Right.
at the same time, I'm going to suggest that you know that you don't need to be in the office all the time. So you
Right.
need to be able to have an office when you need it, but at the same token, be out there meeting with your clients, doing your projects, things like that. But how did the company come about to come and utilize our space that complements your business?
Right. So in Ontario, we have an office. We have offices in Kingston and in Barrie. And historically, we had a full office suite with a whole bunch of offices. And then the pandemic arrived, and we were all working from home. And senior management was sort of looking for ways to sort of make some change due to some of the challenges we were having with our old office space in Barrie, and the neighboring unit. They needed more space. So we needed less space and they needed more space. So what we did is we actually closed our physical big main office in Barrie. And then we were searching for space. And so our senior leadership team looked at some options and visited some different places that have like SuiteWorks in Barrie, and chose SuiteWorks because it's a great place. I love coming here to sort of sit here. I have a nice window office and sit here and sort of work through my day. We all have sort of a model where people can work from home, but also we have 4 offices at SuiteWorks where we can book out an office when we want to come in, if we need to print or print stuff, or if we're having meetings. There's lots of great space here that we can use. And, you know, sometimes people will come in once a week. Sometimes people come in once a month. We can determine when we want to come in and book an office for our use. And I think for me, it's a great model. I can, you know, have my home office. I work outside a lot, so I also have my truck office. And then I can come into SuiteWorks. We have other staff who are just, who don't do outdoor work. So they just sit, you know, in an office all the time. So they can choose to, you know, work at home or come into SuiteWorks and book an office here. We have a similar setup in Kingston as well.
Amazing. And I mean, again, I'm not going to speak for you, but I'm assuming at this point, the capital outlay is much less given this type of hybrid solution for your teams. And
Yep.
And because I'm going to say 50% of the time you're on the road going and traveling and doing what you do, you know, the executive team at that point in time had, you know, looked and decided, you know what, this is a great cost-effective option.
Right. Exactly, Kerri. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Like we would have a certain amount of people who were in the physical office every day. And then we'd have lots of people that were in and out. So this hybrid model of having, you know, physical office space versus working at home is definitely fiscally responsible. And it works for a lot of us right now. So it's good. Yeah.
Awesome. Turning gears one more time, just trying to, you know, you mentioned fundraising and that you're involved in a lot of the communities in here. Where can people go to donate if they wanted to? I'm assuming on your website or...
Right. Yep. So they can visit our website, www.ducks.ca. And there's lots of ways to support Ducks Unlimited. So you can go to the website. You can also go to one of our dinners. So we have dinners where we have actual fundraising dinners and events like golf tournaments. And there's a whole bunch of different events that cater to different people's interests. So you can go to one of our events. They're all listed on our website. So you can check it out there. And you can also make like a direct donation to the Ontario Conservation project team. If you wanted to, you can tag it and direct it to, you know, a specific area. It depends on what people are interested in. Some people also like to leave a legacy, and they may choose to have people donate to Ducks Unlimited when they pass. So there's lots and lots of ways to sort of incorporate good conservation work into your financial planning to sort of help us get good projects in the ground.
Amazing. I love talking to you. I could talk to you all day long, and which we've done before. Well, no.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But I appreciate your time and thank you so much. It's been great. And I look forward to another time with you.
Awesome. Thanks, Kerri, for having me. I hope this was good, and I enjoyed chatting, and I'm sure we could chat all day for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks again. I appreciate it.